Looking in, wishing the Leafs and the Hawks good luck as we close out MLG.
The Headliner, brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevrolet, tried, tested, and true.
Fans getting autographs from many Leaf legends, including first-team All-Star of the 1970s, Boreas Salming. How fitting that Boreas here tonight, and Mats Sundin wraps up the Swedish wave at Maple Leaf Gardens as captain, the last captain ever to serve. Scott Russell, as we mentioned, has a local perspective on what it's like for dad and son to come here.
They came only once a year, the tickets, that is, left carefully at the end of my bed long before I woke. Passes to the Magic Place and to a spot beside my dad in the N Blues. The place where outside the streetcars clicked along Carlton Street and a man roasted chestnuts in the bitter cold. Where the marquee shouted, "Hockey tonight, Leafs versus the Blackhawks." There were so many pictures on the walls, but I dragged Dad to my favorite one on every visit, to number 6, winking and with the puck. So happy to be a Leaf and to play at this rink. How great would that be? There was that contraption that dangled from center ice, a white leaf on it, and the flags that fluttered while the national anthem played. It was almost unreal. Over the years, what we saw was larger than life. The Big M's swooping, Eddie Shack clearing the track, Ballard scowling in his bunker with the King faithfully alongside. My favorite, Ronnie Ellis, almost flew. Spinner Spencer spun, and Lanny, his mustache, the biggest in history. I guarantee it. There were more people together in one place than I thought existed in the world. And we were there too, in the N Blues, hanging over the hot, white ice. There was no play-by-play, no voice of Bill Hewitt saying, "That failed to click." Just the crowd, Dad nervously shushing me, telling me to pay attention, and then the sounds of the Magic Place. I saw the great plays and many of the great players. From where I was, I could have sworn it was the middle of a carnival. But the magic of the place was all about the people inside. And I'll tell you this, there was no seat better than the one I had next to my dad. We were part of the crowd, together in our finest duds, and we were part of a tradition of what it meant to grow up in Toronto, in the N Blues of hockey's house.
Scott, super. When you and Chris wrote The Rink, you got a great appreciation of what arenas across the country mean. Why do you think the Gardens is maybe more special than some of the grand rinks you had the chance to visit?
Well, I'll tell you what, Ron, I believe as a young person it was a privilege to go to Maple Leaf Gardens. It wasn't something that happened every day. My dad worked 7 days a week, and he had the means to get the tickets, but they weren't always available. Once a year, however, he found them somehow by trick or by trade because he thought it was important. It was time for us to spend together. And so I guess I'm like a lot of other young Canadians who had the chance to go to Maple Leaf Gardens tonight as she passes. We want to say thanks to our dads.
Great show. You know, it's funny, we mentioned $3 a ticket in 31. That was actually expensive. Conn Smythe wanted a place that was for the privileged. He figured if you got the elite from Toronto to get excited about the Leafs, ahoy polloi, quote unquote, would follow. And they surely have as we get set for the final night.
Future Look. Brought to you by Ford. For now, forever.
Tonight on Future Look, a glimpse of the Maple Leafs' new home. 2 years after construction began, the Air Canada Centre opens a week tonight. 18,700 seats for hockey. That's 3,000 more than the Gardens. An estimated 20,000 can take in concerts, and they have 200 events planned for the first year alone. The Leafs and the Raptors will call this place theirs. Both have comfortable quarters. There's twice as many washrooms, 54 to the 25 here at the Gardens, and that's good news. You see the practice court for the Raptors. There's 3 restaurants, the original 6, the Air Canada Club, and there will be a hot stove club opening next year, and 152 private suites. Now, if you're afraid of heights, don't look. We'll show you where Bob Cole and Harry Neal will take up residence. One thing's certain, Pat Quinn's not afraid of heights.
The facility itself is outstanding. It's just a tremendous dressing room, workout area, office spaces down here, just outstanding. And I like the bowl. The bowl is terrific. It's going to keep everybody close, and hopefully it'll be a nice, loud building.
Future Look. Brought to you by Ford. For now, forever. Labatt Saturday night. Brought to you by Labatt Blue. A whole lot can happen out of the blue. And by the Home Depot, Canada's home improvement coach.
It's an historic night in downtown Toronto at 60 Carlton Street. The Hawks and the Leafs are set to do battle. We'll bring you inside Canada's preeminent backyard.
Are the roads too dangerous?
You are watching CBC Television.
Hello, Cap and fans in the invade.
This is a night to celebrate the old days, to honor all who've passed here, all those who've played the game. This is a place of legends and heroes. From now until forever, we will remember them. And like my father and his father before him, we raise our hearts to honor all who've worn the blue and white. And like our sons who one day dream of future glory, we celebrate the Maple Leaf on this historic night. This is our night of legends and heroes. Through good times and the hard years, we've made the sacrifice. This is our night of memories and dreams as we prepare to take our leave. Goodbye, old friends, goodbye. This is our night of legends and heroes. From now until forever, goodbye, old friend, goodbye. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, from coast to coast to coast in Canada, welcome to the final night for the Maple Leafs at the Gardens in Toronto.
And starting in goal number 31, Curtis Joseph.
Curtis Joseph has a special mask with Maple Leaf Gardens. He'll wear that mask for tonight, and then it will be taken off to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Imagine the thrill of wearing the blue and white on this historic evening. It all began November 1931, and now this evening they're set to close out in terms of Toronto's participation as an NHL outfit. Good evening, I'm Ron McLean. It's a big night. Bob Cole, who drove from St. John's, Newfoundland to Toronto to meet with Foster Hewitt and learn how to do his thing, is with Harry Neal. You'll hear from them in a minute. I just want to introduce Brad Conacher, and if she'll be introduced, Haley there. Brad, what's your proudest moment?
My father was Charlie, and he got the first Leaf goal in the Gardens. And I thought I'd bring my daughter Haley down, who's Charlie's only grandchild. Hopefully she'll remember it. She's only 5½.
It's a nice night, and it's a night that will be full of misty eyes. It's all down to two men, really. The man who had a way with men, Conn Smythe, the man who had a way with words, Foster Hewitt. In their tradition, let's send you to Paul Morris.